The Sound Dragon Quartet, Book 1, The Yellow Dragon, Chapter 9. Something fuzzy, something feathered, something wet? Oh, merciful dragon gods! Someone crashed to their knees. What has been done? Such a calamity as the unworthy! Rin was doused, and yet more fluid, but that was the least of her concerns. Two furry paws reached up out of the cracked shell and plopped their wet, sticky heat right onto her cheeks. Rin stared into a pair of enormous blue eyes. The creature thrummed, chirruping right in her face. A smack could be heard in the slamming of the Coassier's hand to his forehead. The tall, templed man sighed in utter devastation. Whichever tall hat was on the ground gave a guttural moan, as if he'd sliced his hand open in the kitchen, and now his blood had ruined the stew. The creature climbed out of the shell with no skill, falling immediately into the cold pool, where it shrieked. But when it shrieked, it twanged the noise of a violin. It caused such a racket. Rin heard the rippling echoes of pain in those gathered. She knew the noise was stabbing forks into all of their brains, too. It was the Coassier who calmly shuffled through the pool, wetting his white tablecloth where it dragged in the water. He squatted down to where Rin and the thrashing creature sat. The man's eyes were blue, too, but not as light as the lighthouse keeper's, and his mustache was far more magnificent than the old man's. It doesn't like the wet. The Coassier's voice was as raw as a fresh cut of meat. Well, he had been singing for hours upon hours. Very badly, too, which Rin knew hurt worse than singing nicely. Rin blinked, catching up to his words. She tilted her head in confusion. The Coassier prompted. Pick it up. Rin's brow furrowed, while behind the holy man, the one proffered on the ground stuck his head up, appending his tall hat with outrage. You cannot be serious, your holiness! This thing is not... The Coassier ignored him as well as everyone else. Their muttering so loud, Rin was reminded of a waterfall. It's scared. You have to pick it up, he said, and finally, Rin grabbed the wet thing in her hands. Though it had just been cracked from a shell, its frame was chunky. Rin struggled to fit it within her palms, plopping it against her chest to help with the heft. As soon as its long, tufted tail rose from the icy cold, the out-of-control violin ceased. After a moment, it began purring, every other note something sweet, but mostly it just thrummed quietly. The Coassier regarded Rin with his dark eyes and dark mustache. He rose from the pool, not offering Rin a hand to do the same. Her nose wrinkled. If only Lorestalene of the Tulips had seen that. She has a song, the holy man hoarsed to the gathered crowd. It's possible she might be the next to offer the Halidity. What? Outrage was not raging enough to describe the fallen hat's face as he slapped the ground on all fours. But, your holiness, you are not even close to replacement. The Coassier shuffled out of the water, walking ahead without bending his back even once. Perhaps the dragon gods are informing me of a secret sickness soon to kill me. The tall hats hiccuped and gasped and lost their voices. The one on the ground tried to sputter a response, but the Coassier beat him to it, turning halfway and shrugging with, kidding. Who knows the will of the gods? She could just be another mimic. The Order is always open to welcoming more scouts. Leaving all of the tall hats in stunned silence that made Rin want to laugh, inappropriately, as Lorestalene of the Tulips would say. He conversed with a medium hat standing by all the little ones, their eyes huge, their hands filled with weird creatures of their own. Rin was relieved to see she wasn't the only one struggling to hold onto theirs. I trust we are about finished. At the medium hat's confirming nod, the cuirassier's hoarse, clipped tone changed not even a little as he said, "Good. Start the descent without me. Then, you, girl." The holy man did not turn, but Rin knew to whom he spoke. She also knew that tone meant she was in trouble. Very, very big trouble. So big she might never be allowed to live with Loresteline of the Tulips ever again and be stuck in the yarny mess that was Loresteline of the Daisy's medicinal hovel for the rest of her life. Rin stared at the cuirassier, helpless to stand with this fat bird cat in her arms. "Where do you live?" he asked.